Reba McEntire exposes the 5 Opry legends she'll never forgive, not by naming names or stirring public drama, but through the quiet clarity of a woman who survived decades inside a country music system that smiled on stage while quietly deciding who was allowed to rise and who was expected to wait forever. Because when Reba first arrived in Nashville, she was young, immensely talented, and full of respect for the Grand Ole Opry as a sacred institution. Yet she quickly learned that behind the tradition and applause were powerful figures who controlled access, opportunities, and careers. And while she worked relentlessly to prove herself, some of those legends treated her success as a threat rather than something to nurture, with one using influence to repeatedly push her aside for prime performance slots and radio momentum, subtly slowing her rise during years when timing mattered most, while another publicly questioned her authenticity, dismissing her sound as too polished and not real country, comments that followed her everywhere and cut deeply in an industry obsessed with credibility, making Reba feel like no amount of hard work would ever be enough to earn full acceptance. And a third legend hurt her through broken promises, offering private encouragement and mentorship only to disappear when support was actually needed, teaching her the painful lesson that in Nashville words are often easier than loyalty. And as her career grew, a fourth betrayal emerged around credit and recognition, as Reba noticed her creative input minimized and her contributions quietly absorbed into the legacy of others, reinforcing the feeling that she was welcome to deliver results but not to claim ownership or authority. Yet the deepest wound came from the fifth legend, someone with immense power who chose silence during moments when Reba faced public criticism or unfair treatment. Because in the Opry world, silence is not neutral. It is a decision, and that absence of support stayed with her longer than any direct insult, shaping how she understood forgiveness, boundaries, and self-respect. And rather than confronting these figures publicly, Reba did what she has always done. She worked harder, trusted her instincts, and rebuilt her career on her own terms, slowly transforming pain into discipline and doubt into fuel, until her success became impossible to ignore, earning her awards, record sales, and a place as one of the most influential women in country music history. Yet even as she became a legend herself, she never forgot who made the journey harder than it needed to be, not out of bitterness but awareness, because those experiences taught her that tradition can be used as a weapon, that legends can still act small, and that forgiveness is not something owed simply because time has passed. And today when Reba speaks about these moments, she does so calmly, without anger, explaining that honoring the Opry does not require excusing those who used their power to limit her path, making her story not one of revenge but of boundaries, a reminder that strength does not always look like reconciliation, and that sometimes the greatest act of self-preservation is remembering exactly who taught you how unforgiving the road could be, even after you reach the top.